This fried rice is bursting with flavors. I call it the fried rice with 7 lives because it does not go bad and it keeps really well. If you've been having problems with your fried rice going bad or not keeping more than a couple of hours, then this is the recipe to watch. Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Buki and I'm a food blogger. I live in Lagos, Nigeria. If this is your first time on my channel, please click the subscribe button so you can subscribe to my channel. Click the bell also so you get notifications when I post new videos. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make this amazing fried rice. It's really easy to make and there are a few tricks that you need to know. You may use different vegetables from the one I use. You don't have to use what I use, but I will tell you that certain vegetables don't keep long and they can make your fried rice go bad. For this recipe, I'm using soy sauce, I'm using canola oil, I'm using some shrimps. More importantly, I'm using golden Sella Basmati rice, some sweet corn, some green peas, minced onions, green beans, spring onions, and carrots. For spices, I'm using curry powder, dried thyme, white pepper, salt, bay leaves, fresh garlic, and ginger. So the first thing I'm going to do with my rice, as I always do, is I'm going to pour some hot water over it and soak it for 10 minutes and then I'm going to wash and drain it. I'm also going to cook my green peas because these are raw. So I'm just going to cook it for about 5 to 10 minutes so that it softens. So I'll put it in this pot, put some water and let it cook on the back burner while I do other things. It's been about 10 minutes now. I'm going to rinse my rice under running water. I'm going to rinse it a couple of times until the water is clear. And then I'm going to set it over this bowl and just let it drain. Next, I'm going to prepare my vegetables. So I'm going to start by cutting my carrots. Every single time I make fried rice, the way I cut my vegetables is always different. And I don't even know what inspires me, but I just think about the look that I want. Being a food blogger, you kind of think about the way you want your food to look, and then you cut your vegetables accordingly. I don't know why I chose this shape, but this is the shape I'm using for this fried rice. You can cut them longer, you can cut them thicker, you can cut them thinner than this. Do whatever you feel like, and you're still going to have amazing fried rice. So I'm just cutting up the rest of my carrots now, and I'm going to set it aside. Next, I'm going to cut my green beans. I chose these vegetables because I feel like they would keep longer. If you notice, I'm not using any bell peppers. Bell peppers can get soggy real quick, especially if you plan to keep your fried rice longer than a few hours. I wouldn't really recommend bell peppers, although I cook with bell peppers with no problems at all. But if you're having issues with your fried rice going bad, it may be the humidity where you are, it may be down to the weather, and bell peppers may be affecting the taste. I've just cut my spring onions into a good size also. In this pot, I'm going to add some oil, and when it's hot, I'm going to add in my minced onions. I'm going to saute it for a couple of minutes, and then I'm going to add my fresh garlic and my fresh ginger that I've minced. I'm going to add half of all of the spices that I listed earlier. I'm going to save the other half to cook my vegetables with. So I have curry powder, white pepper, dried thyme, and salt in here. I should have put my bay leaf at this point, but I forgot. When you're doing yours, please put your bay leaf at this point. I also did mention stock cubes earlier, but do add stock cubes to add extra flavor to your fried rice. I'm adding all this to the onions while I'm sauteing because I'm cooking the rice in here and I need it to be really tasty. Now I'm going to add in my drained rice and I'm literally going to fry this. So I'm doing this on low to medium heat I'm mixing all of this with the onions and the spices, and I'm going to fry it for about 3 to 5 minutes, and this is what it's going to look like. Make sure that you're constantly stirring it so it doesn't burn, especially if you're using a non-stick pot. Now I'm going to add in some water. I tend to cook with hot water so that the cooking process starts immediately and my rice doesn't get soggy. Make sure you're not adding too much water also to your rice. Next, I'm going to cook my vegetables. In this frying pan, I'm going to add some oil and I'm going to cook my shrimps. I'm just arranging in a single layer in the oil. I'm going to sprinkle some salt now, and I'm going to cook this for about 3 minutes until it's no longer pink. Shrimps don't really take a long time to cook, and although this says shrimp fried rice, chicken will also work. Minced beef will also work. Liver, whatever you like really is going to work. You can just sub it here and still use this process to make your fried rice. It's all cooked now. I'm going to take it out of the pan, and then I'm going to add my green beans. It's going in first with the carrots because they're tougher than the spring onions and the sweet corn. So I'm going to cook this for about 30 seconds to 1 minute because I still want them to have a bit of crunch in them. Next, I'm going to add my cooked peas. I'm just going to cook this together for another 20 seconds to 30 seconds. And then I'm going to add in my spices. So this is the other half of the spices that I saved earlier. White pepper, curry powder, dried thyme, and a little bit of salt. Make sure that all of this process does not take too long because you don't want your vegetables to overcook. Now, there are two methods to cooking fried rice. You can cook the rice separately like I've done and then do the vegetables separately and then combine. Or I know other people use this method where you cook your rice and then pour your vegetables into the liquid with the rice and cook it. That tends to make my veggies soggy, so I never use that method. Next, I'm going to add the sweet corn and the spring onions at the same time. Those are tender and don't take a long time to cook at all. I'm going to mix all of this together. Next, I'm going to add in the shrimp so that all of the flavors can blend in and come together and everything tastes the same and tastes really, really nice and delicious. Nigerian fried rice is not a difficult dish to cook at all. You just have to be mindful of the steps that you use, the vegetables that you use, the heat that you use also, and you will always get perfect fried rice. Make sure not to overcook your vegetables no matter what you do. I'm going to check on my rice now, and I have put the bay leaf in so that it starts to release the flavor, although I should have done it much earlier in the process. I'm just going to stir it now, and of course there's no more liquid in this and it's soft enough, so my rice is ready. I'm going to tip in my vegetables now and combine everything together. One tip you can use is to reduce the quantity of rice and tip in your vegetables, and then you can add the rice if you need a bit more. That way you don't end up with so much rice and little vegetable, and you can just, balance it out. I'm going to mix all of this together and make sure that all of the flavors combine really, really well. I'm doing this on low heat so it doesn't burn. Remember that my vegetables are already cooked. My rice is already cooked and soft, so this does not need a lot of time on the heat anymore. I'm going to add in a dash of soy sauce for extra flavor, and this is how I get my really delicious Nigerian fried rice. Be careful with the amount of salt you use in this recipe because soy sauce is salty and we did use stock cubes and salt already. So you want to keep an eye on your salt level so that you don't end up with salty rice. I'm going to cover the pan now and give it about a minute or two to cook and all of the flavors to marry and come together. And then I'm going to take it off the heat and take the lid off immediately so that it doesn't have as much heat and it's still cooking and it ends up soggy. And this is what my perfect shrimp fried rice looks like. All of the grains of rice are just separate. They're not mushy. not soggy, because I hate soggy rice, as you already know. And this is it, really quick and simple. I hope you guys are really going to try out this recipe. If you do, let me know. If you have any questions, DM me on Instagram or leave me a comment down below and I'm going to respond to them. If you have any specific questions relating to this fried rice, you can leave them for me down below and I'll always respond. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done that. And I'm going to see you guys in my next video. I'm going off to enjoy my fried rice now, so take care and be safe. Bye bye.